Imagine this. You wake up, check your phone, and the first message you see ruins your whole mood. Someone said something you don't like, and instantly your peace is gone. Your heart races, your mind spins, and you spend the rest of the day replaying that comment in your head. Sounds familiar, right? The Stoics would call this a weakness, giving away your peace to someone else's words. But what if I told you there's a way to master your mind so deeply that no insult, no betrayal, and no nonsense from anyone can ever control you again? Before we begin, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Not because it makes me happy, but because Epictetus would say it's the right thing to do. Number 1, the source of anger is not them, it's you. Anger feels like it comes from outside of us, from the rude driver, the disrespectful friend, or the annoying coworker. But Stoicism teaches us that the true source of anger is not what they did, but how we interpret what they did. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, people will be selfish, greedy, and unjust, but that is their nature. Notice how he didn't say, they made me angry. He said, that is their nature. The difference is powerful. When you stop expecting people to behave the way you want, you free yourself from constant disappointment. Anger thrives on expectations. We expect people to be kind, fair, and thoughtful. When they aren't, we get angry. But when you master the art of expecting less, or better yet, expecting reality, anger loses its power over you. Think of it like going outside in the rain. If you expect sunshine, you'll be furious when it rains. But if you know the clouds are coming, you carry an umbrella and stay calm. People are the same. You already know many will lie, insult, or act selfishly. Why be surprised when it happens? Here's a bit of humor. Expecting people never to annoy you is like expecting your Wi-Fi to work perfectly every single day. You know it's gonna fail sometimes, so don't lose your peace over it. Number 2, control what you can, release what you can't. Epictetus gave us the most practical tool for dealing with anger, the dichotomy of control. He said, some things are up to us and some are not. Anger happens when we waste energy trying to control what belongs to others. You can't control what someone says, how they think, or how they act, but you can always control how you respond. The truth is, we get angry because we want power over people we don't have power over. We want their approval, their respect, their kindness. And when we don't get it, we explode. But if you can accept fully and deeply that other people's choices are outside your control, anger starts to look like a bad investment. Why waste energy on something you can't change? Imagine trying to argue with the weather. You wouldn't shout at the rain for falling or the wind for blowing. Yet, with people, we do exactly that, shouting at their behavior as if our words will magically change them. But the wise person understands, control yourself, release the rest. Humor check. Getting angry at people for being who they are is like yelling at a cat for not barking. You'll look crazy, and the cat still won't bark. Number 3, train your pause. One of the most practical ways to master anger is to build a pause between what happens and how you respond. Seneca said, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. Anger wants you to act instantly, to fire back, to yell, to fight. But when you create even a small pause, you regain control. In that pause, you ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Will this matter tomorrow? Or am I just feeding my ego? Most of the time, you'll realize that silence is stronger than reaction. By not giving the other person your emotional energy, you win without fighting. This pause isn't natural. It takes practice. You'll fail at first, snapping at people before you even think. But if you make it a habit, you'll notice something powerful. The world slows down. You see insults as background noise. You become untouchable. Here's the funny part. When you stop reacting instantly, people get confused. They expect drama, but instead, you give them calm silence. It's like refusing to argue with someone who came prepared with a whole speech. You leave them talking to themselves. Number 4, shrinking your ego. Anger often comes from ego. We think, how dare they speak to me that way? Or don't they know who I am? But the Stoics remind us that ego is fragile, and a fragile ego is easily broken. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't be." He didn't mean physical harm, but emotional harm. No one can truly insult you unless you give them permission. When you let go of ego, you realize something freeing. People's words are just sounds. They have no weight unless you choose to pick them up. An insult doesn't stick to you unless your pride insists on carrying it. Ask yourself, if a child called you a fool, would you be offended? Probably not, because you know better. Then why be offended when a grown person does it? Their words are no more powerful than the child's. The only difference is your ego. Humor again. Your ego is like a balloon. The bigger it gets, the easier it is to pop. Shrink it, and there's nothing to pop. Number 5, choosing peace over being right. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to win arguments or prove people wrong. The goal is peace. The Stoics lived by this principle. You can either be controlled by anger, or you can control yourself. One brings chaos, the other brings freedom. Peace doesn't mean weakness. In fact, it's the strongest position you can take. Anyone can scream, insult, or lash out. That takes no skill. But the one who can stay calm under fire holds true power. As Seneca put it, he who angers you conquers you. Don't let anyone conquer you. So when someone offends you, ask, do I want to be right, or do I want to be free? Choosing peace means walking away without scars, while the other person keeps their own bitterness. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. And for one last laugh, arguing with angry people is like wrestling with a pig. Both of you get dirty, but only the pig enjoys it. Choose peace. If you can master this, seeing people as they are, focusing only on what you control, training the pause, shrinking your ego, and choosing peace, then no one will ever truly bother you again. You'll carry your own calm, untouchable by the chaos of others. And that, my friends, is the real Stoic superpower. Number 6, the power of perspective. Anger often grows because we see things too close up, like staring at a problem through a magnifying glass. The Stoics trained themselves to step back, to look at life from a higher view. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to see human life in the context of the universe, tiny moments in the vast flow of time. When you zoom out like this, insults and annoyances suddenly shrink in importance. Think about it. Will the rude comment your coworker made matter in a year? Probably not. Will it matter in 10 years? Definitely not. Yet in the moment, we let it consume us as if the world is ending. By shifting your perspective, you remind yourself, this too shall pass. It's like being on an airplane and looking down at the city. From above, everything looks small. The same is true of our daily frustrations. Step back, rise above, and they lose their grip on you. A bit of humor. Holding on to anger is like fighting with someone over a parking spot in a dream. The moment you wake up, you realize how ridiculous it was. Number 7, understanding human weakness. The Stoics didn't just accept human flaws, they expected them. Marcus Aurelius began his mornings by reminding himself, today, I will meet with people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. That wasn't pessimism, it was preparation. When you accept that people are weak, selfish, and imperfect, you stop being shocked when they behave that way. You wouldn't be angry at a scorpion for stinging. That's its nature. So why be angry at a selfish person for acting selfishly? Understanding human weakness brings compassion, not frustration. This doesn't mean excusing bad behavior, but it means refusing to let it poison your inner state. You can hold someone accountable without giving away your peace. And when you remember your own weaknesses, it becomes easier to forgive others. After all, you've been annoying too, maybe not today, but definitely in the past. Humor break. Getting mad at people for being flawed is like yelling at your phone for running out of battery. You know it's going to happen, so plug in patience instead. Number 8, turning insults into training. The Stoics saw every insult as an opportunity to practice virtue. Epictetus said that difficulties are like the gymnasium of the soul. They train you to become stronger. When someone tries to offend you, it's not an attack, it's practice. They are unknowingly helping you build resilience. Think of it like weightlifting. At first, the weight feels unbearable, but the more you lift, the stronger you get. Insults and annoyances are like weights for your mind. Each time you resist anger, you add strength to your character. What once made you furious will one day roll off your back with ease. This mindset transforms life. Instead of seeing enemies everywhere, you see teachers. Each rude person, each insult becomes a lesson in patience, humility, and self-control. And suddenly, life feels less like a battlefield and more like a classroom. Humor check. In a way, annoying people are like free personal trainers, except instead of abs, they're giving you emotional strength. You don't even need a gym membership. Number 9. Choosing indifference over revenge. One of the hardest lessons of Stoicism is learning to be indifferent to insult. Not cold, not bitter, but truly unbothered. The urge to get even is strong. We want revenge, or at least the satisfaction of proving the other person wrong. But Stoicism teaches that revenge keeps you chained to the very person you want to escape. The stronger response is indifference. To look at the insult as you would look at a leaf falling from a tree. Something that simply happens, not something that deserves your energy. By refusing to be disturbed, you prove that your peace is stronger than their words. This doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. It means choosing your battles wisely, and most of the time, realizing the battle isn't worth it at all. Let them talk. Let them stew. You go on living free. Humor moment. Chasing revenge is like drinking poison and hoping the other person gets sick. You suffer, they laugh. Indifference is the ultimate clap back. Number 10. Living above the noise. At the heart of Stoicism is the idea of living above the noise of the world. Insults, arguments, petty drama, they're all noise. The wise person doesn't dive into it. They rise above it. They stay focused on their purpose, their values, their inner calm. Seneca said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." If someone is loud, rude, and angry, the last thing you should do is become the same. Instead, you prove your strength by refusing to be dragged down into the mud. You keep your dignity while they lose theirs. Living above the noise also means remembering what truly matters. Your peace, your growth, your journey. If you waste it on small fights, you'll have no energy left for the big battles that actually shape your life. Protect your energy as if it's treasure, because it is. And to close with humor, when you stop getting angry at people, life feels like muting that one annoying group chat. The chaos is still happening, but your peace stays untouched. If you can master perspective, understand human weakness, turn insults into training, choose indifference over revenge, and live above the noise, then you'll carry the kind of calm that no one can steal from you. And that, my friends, is the unshakable armor of Stoicism.